Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 3 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 3 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapter. We are already working on the chapter division. So today we're going to start with the lesson divisibility rule for 2, 5 and 10, divisibility rules for 3, 6 and 9, divisibility rules for 4 and 8, and division input-output tables. So the basic concept is we are going to start with divisibility rules today, right? So what do you know about the divisibility rules? What are the divisibility rules? Okay, so please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well, right? So we're going to learn what are the divisibility rules, right? So basically they are rules that let you test if one number is divisible by another without having to do too much calculation, right? You can note down the definition of the divisibility rule. These rules let you test if one number is divisible by another without having to do too much calculations. Okay, so this is the definition of the divisibility rule, right? That means you don't have to actually divide. You need to apply some rules, and you know if one number is divisible by another, right? Now I'm going to write the divisibility rules on the board. You can note down the divisibility rules, right? The first one is we're going to start with divisibility rule for 2, right? I'm going to write these divisibility rules on the board. You can please note down these divisibility rules, then we'll do the practice questions later, right? Okay, let's start with the divisibility rule for 2, right? The divisibility rule for 2 is the last digit is even. If the last digit of any number is even, that means the number is divisible by 2. Even means either it is 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So if any number have the last digit as 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8, that means the number is divisible by 2. For example, you have 24. So the last digit is 4 and 4 is an even number, right? That means 24 is an even number, right? So for example, you have another number 31. Just look at the last number. The last number is 1. 1 is not even, right? That means 31 is not an even number. 31 is an odd number, right? Okay. The next one is divisibility rule for 3. You can please note down these rules. Okay, the divisibility rule for 3 is the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. The sum of digits is divisible by 3, right? For example, you have 381. Just add the numbers 3 plus 8 plus 1, that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 is divisible by 3? Yes, it is. 3 times 4 is 12. That means 381 is divisible by 3, right? If you have any question, you can please write down the question in the chat box. What is EVS? I don't get your question. Can you please write down the question again? Okay, so the divisibility rule for 3 is the sum of the digits must be divisible by 3, right? You can see 31. I just added the digits 3 plus 8 plus 1, that is 12. And 12 divided by 3 equals 4, right? Okay, the next one is the divisibility rule for 4. So the divisibility rule for 4 is if the last two digits are divisible by 2. The last two digits are divisible by 4. Divisible by 4, yes. Okay, for example, you have a digit 1, 3, 1, 2, right? The last two digits of this number is 12, and 12 is divisible by 4, right? 4 times 3 is 12. That means 1312 is divisible by 2. You can see if you are going to divide 1312 by 4, it takes time, like, right? Maybe 2 minutes, 4 minutes if you are good with multi division, just 2 minutes. If you are not good with multiple division, it takes more time, right? So the divisibility rules are the ones you just have to apply, and you can see if the number is divisible by. So you can see 1312 is divisible by 4. Got it? Okay, the next one is the divisibility rule for 5. So the divisibility rule for 5 is the last digit is 0 or 5. The divisibility rule for 5 is the last digit is 0 or 5. For example, you have 25. Yes, 25 is divisible by 5, right? You have 40. 0 is divisible by 5. So the divisibility rule for 5 is if the last digit is either 0, you have 40, you have 0. So 40 and 25 are divisible by 5. Got it? Do you guys note down them? Okay, the next one is divisibility rule for 6. So the divisibility rule for 6 is the number must be even, is even, and is divisible by 3. Right? So if the number is even and is divisible by 3, that means the number is divisible by 6. That means that if you apply the divisibility rule of 2 and 3 on a number and they both are working, that means the number is divisible by 6. For example, you have 114. You have 4 here, right? That means 114 is even. Now let's just add them. 1 plus 1 plus 4. That is 6. And 6 is divisible by 3. Yes, you can see both tests for 2 and 3 are applied. So yes, that means 114 is divisible by 6. The correct option is 6. So the divisibility rule for 6 is even and is divisible by 3, right? Okay, the next one is divisibility rule for 7. The divisibility are very important. Their divisibility rules are very important. So the divisibility rule for 7 is, okay, double the last digit, double the last digit and subtract it from a number made by the other digits. From the number made by the other digits. But for example, you have 72, 672, right? Double the last digit. The last digit is 4. So the double of 2 is 4, right? Now the rest of the digits is 67, right? So subtract 4 from 67. 67 minus 4, and 67 minus 4 is 63, right? And 63 is divisible by 7. 7 times 9 is 63. That means yes, 672 is divisible by 9. Got it? 672 is divisible by 9. Okay, the next one is the divisibility rule for 8. Okay, the divisibility rule for 8 is the last three digits are divisible by 8. The last three digits are divisible by 8, right? For example, you have a number 1, 2, 216, 308. The last three digits are 308, right? Just check if 302. Just check if 302 is divisible by 8. I think no, 302 is not divisible by 8, right? That means no, 216302 is not divisible by 8, right? For example, the other example is 109816. So just check if 816 is divisible by 8. Yes, it is divisible by 8. That means 109816 is divisible by 8, right? That is the divisibility rule for 8. Let's just do the divisibility rule for 9. Okay, so the divisibility rule for 9 is the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. Sum of digits is divisible by 9. Just add up all the digits. If the sum is divisible by 9, that means the number is divisible by 9. Got it? Okay, the next one is, can you guys please focus on the lesson? Stop talking, everyone. Okay, the next one is the divisibility rule for 10. So then if the number ends in 0, the number ends in 0. Like you have 40, yes, you have 0. That means the number is divisible by 10, right? Okay, so we are done with the divisibility rules. Now we're going to start with the practice questions, right? The same divisibility rules we have to apply on the examples now. Stop, stop, stop. Just write a question once and please do not do. Otherwise, I'm going to block you all. So let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, let's just start with the practice. I'm on the lesson divisibility rules for 2, 5, and 10. So we have already done with the divisibility rules. Now we're going to start with the practice question, right? Is 25 divisible by 2? Which is the correct option? Yes or no? Stop talking, everyone, and now just focus on the lesson. Is 25 divisible by 2? So let's just see the divisibility rule for 2, right? The divisibility rule for 2 is the last digit is even, right? Even means either it is 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So here is the number 25. 5 is not even, right? That means the number is not divisible by 2. The correct option is no. Please answer the question I'm asking. And no more talkings in the chat. Okay, the next one is 55 divisible by 5? Which is the correct option? Yes or no? $55. You have the divisibility rule for 5 is the last digit must be 5 or 0. Here is the divisibility rule for 5. The last digit of the number is either 0 or 5. So yes, the number is divisible by 5. The correct option is yes. Is 50 divisible by 5? Yes or no? Is 50 divisible by 5? Yes, 50 is divisible by 5 because you have a 0 at the as a last digit. So 50 is divisible by 5. Is 69 divisible by 2? Sixty-nine is not divisible by 2, right? 9 is not an even number, so 69 is not divisible by 2. The correct option is no. Okay, the next one is 90 divisible by 10? Yes or no? Yes, it is, right? 90 is divisible by 10. The correct option is yes. No, 87 is not divisible by 2, right? 7 is not an even number, so the correct option is no. Is 90 divisible by 5? Yes or no? Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, 50 is divisible by 9. You have 0 at the as a last digit, right? Okay. The next one is 50 divisible by 10, which is the correct option. Yes, the correct option is yes, 50 is divisible by 10. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is divisibility rules for 3, 6, and 9, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. We have already done with all the hmm, divisibility rules. So let's just start with the practice questions, right? Okay. Is 82 divisible by 6? So the divisibility rule for 6 is you need to see if the number is even and if it is divisible by 3. 82. 2 is an even number, right? 82 is even. But the divisibility rule for 3 is you need to add the numbers, the digit, add the numbers in the digit, and to add 8 plus 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay, you have to do add 8 plus 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. And 10 is not divisible by 3, right? 82 is even, but it is not divisible by 3, right? The correct option is no, the number is not divisible by 6. Got it? Is 81 divisible by 9, which is the correct option? 81 is divisible by 9. You have to apply the divisibility rule for 9. The divisibility rule for 9 is, I think the sum of the numbers is divisible by 9. Yes, the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. So yes, 8 plus 1 is 9 and 9 is divisible. 81 is divisible by 9. Hold on, hold on. 81 is divisible by 9. Yes, it is. Is 51 divisible by 3, which is the correct option? 51 is divisible by 3. You have to apply the divisibility rule for 3, right? The divisibility rule for 3 is you have to add the numbers. If the number is divisible by 3, 5 plus 1 is 6, and 6 is divisible by 3. So the number is divisible by 3. The correct option is yes, it is. Okay, is 70 divisible by 6, which is the correct option? Is 70 divisible by 6? The correct option is no, 70 is not divisible by 6. Is 13 divisible by 9, which is the correct option? Is 13 divisible by 9, which is the correct option? The correct option is no, 13 is not divisible by 9. Is 12 divisible by 3, which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, 12 is divisible by 3, right? Is 27 divisible by 9, which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, 27 is divisible by 9. Is 81 divisible by 6, which is the correct option? The correct option is no, 81 is not divisible by 6, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to the next one. The next one is the divisibility rule for 4 and 8, right? So let's just start with the practice questions. Okay. Is 632 divisible by 4? Which is the correct option, yes or no? Thirty-two. Just look at the last two digits, right? The divisibility rule for 4 is if the last two digits are divisible by 4, here's the divisibility rule for the last two digits are divisible by 4. So the last two digits are 32, right? And 32 is divisible by 4. 4 times 8 is 32. That means 632 is divisible by 4. Got it? The correct option is yes. Is 993 divisible by 8, which is the correct option? The divisibility rule for 8 is the last three digits are divisible by 8, right? 993. No, I think 993 is not divisible by 8. The correct option is no. The correct option is no. Stop talking, everyone. Please focus on the lesson we are working on. Is 169 divisible by 4? Just look at the last two digits. The last two digits are 69, right? And no, 69 is not divisible by 4, so the correct option is no. 169 is not divisible by 4. The next one is 528. So is 528 divisible by 8? Yes, it is divisible by 8. Mm, yes, 528 is divisible by 8. The correct option is yes. 921 divisible by 4, which is the correct option? And the correct option is no, 921 is not divisible by 4. Is 280 divisible by 8? The correct option is yes, 280 is divisible by 8 because the last 280 is divisible by 8. The correct option is yes. Yes, it is. Is 804 divisible by 4, which is the correct option? Yes, just look at the last two digits, they are 0 and 4. So 4 times 1 is 4, so it is divisible by 4, right? Okay, you can complete the test by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is divisibility, division, input output tables. The input output tables are exactly the same like we have the input output table for addition and subtraction, right? You are given a divisibility rule, you have to apply the divisibility rule on the table. So let's just start with the test question. Okay, complete the table. The divisibility rule is you have to divide each input value by 2, right? So here you have the input value is 4. The output value is 4 divided by 2. 4 by 2 is 2. That means here you have 2, right? Then here you have input value is 6. 6 divided by 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Here you have 3. Then you have 10. 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So here you have 5. So the missing values are 2, 3 and 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. Complete the table, divide by 2. So which is the correct option? Which options are missing? Which is the correct option? The correct option is you have to divide each input value by 2. So the correct option is yes, 2, 3, and 5. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? No option 2, 3. When you divide 6 by 2, the answer is 3. Okay, the next one is complete the table. You have to divide them by 1. So which is the correct option? The correct option is you have to divide them by 1. So they are the same numbers 4, 8, and 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? Complete the table. Divide by 1. Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, they are 7, 8, and 9. The correct option is 7, 8, and 9. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? Very good. The next one is complete the table. Divide by 2. So which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, they are 2, 3, and 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Very good. Okay, you can please write the ones. Complete the table. Divide by 1. The divisibility rule is 1. Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, they are 6, 8, and 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. Okay, complete the table. Divide by 1. Which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 6, 8, and 9, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 3 math. The chapter we're working on is division, and the lessons we have covered today are they are divisibility rule for 2, 5, and 10, divisibility rules for 3, 6, and 9, divisibility rule for 4, 8, 4 and 8, and division input output tables, right? So please make sure before the next session you have to complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9, or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. right? So if you have any question, you can please ask. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today, Shan. Bye, everyone.